Hi guys, it's Mark Zicree, Mr. Sci-Fi, also known as Mark Zicree of Space Command. Hope you're staying safe, hope you're staying well. It's an amazing time we're living through, and one that we hope we won't have to see again. But wanted to let you know that we just found out that we've made the nomination round of the Emmys, so that's extremely cool. It's not the final list for the Emmy, but it's the nominating round, and that's terrific. This is for Space Command as a web series. You know, we took the first hour, cut it up into 10 webisodes, and released those on Mr. Sci-Fi, and that qualifies for this category. So if you have friends who are Academy members, or if you have friends who are actors or writers or directors or producers in Hollywood, let them know. Send them a link to the Space Command web series. Tell them that it's great to vote for things made by hand. And if you haven't seen the first hour of Space Command, we've released it under the heading "The Greatest Star Trek Series You're Not Watching." Now, people have asked why I've done that, and here's the reason: because if I just call it Space Command, we get a few thousand of views of the people in the know. When I said the greatest Star Trek episode you're not watching, because we have so many Star Trek actors in it, and because it's in the spirit of Star Trek, and because I wrote for Star Trek, we get 600,000 views. And so that, and 97% thumbs up, and still going strong. We'll hit 1 million in a matter of weeks. And so that's the way to spread the word about Space Command. And it's worked. So we just put out the second 2-hour episode, Ripple Effect, which was made during the pandemic. We're working on finishing part 2 of Redemption, our pilot. It's moving along really well. Next few months we'll have that done, and I think you'll really, really like it. And then we complete the first part of Forgiveness, then we shoot the second part of Forgiveness, and so forth. And the audio play, the prequel, is done as well. Now we have a Kickstarter campaign going on. My Kickstarter moderator turned out not to be up to it for whatever reason, and so I've been trying to get it going myself. But if you have been wanting to help Space Command, if you've been wanting to throw a few $100s our way or whatever, or seize one of the opportunities, if you've wanted a career as a writer, a director, a producer, an actor, this could be a great boost for you. So just go over to the Kickstarter link; it's down there, and help out Space Command. We have to take in about $1,000 a day, a little more, to hit our goal. And hopefully we can do that, because that keeps the lights on, keeps us moving forward. We're also still selling Space Command shares at $7,500 each, or half shares for $3,750. You can just email me at markzicree@gmail.com. I'll send you all the info. And beyond that, lots to talk about in the days to come. I'm going to do more of my history of science fiction. I'm going to talk about some of these books in my collection. People have been asking me to do that. And lots and lots more, because it's an amazing time for science fiction, an amazing time. We're living in science fiction. The one thing science fiction didn't predict was that things would all happen at once. So for instance, if you look at all the pandemic ones, it's like the pandemic hits, and then that's sort of defining everything. Whether it's Day of the Triffids with plants on the loose or whatever, it's always like when doomsday comes, that's what you're dealing with. Of course, living in the pandemic now, we find that you have the pandemic, and you have Black Lives Matter, and you have the election coming up for president, and all of this stuff all at once. And that's fascinating. And I'm sure in the future you'll see science fiction writers learning that lesson and taking knowledge from that lesson, and generating their science fiction stories with more in them. So, but it's quite an interesting time, and I thank you so much for being part of Space Command and for being part of Mr. Sci-Fi. I really love doing this, as you can tell, and I loved having the Space Command convention the other day. You can check out those panels. We still have it up on Mr. Sci-Fi, and you can definitely watch Ripple Effect, which was done during the pandemic with the actors shooting their own scenes in their own homes. So it's not got the polish of the episodes that we're able to do full tilt, but it also shows you an insight into the characters that you would not have gotten otherwise. And it also introduces a lot of the characters we're going to have later in the season, such as Armin Shimmerman and Christina Moses and all these wonderful actors who've been waiting in the wings. Unfortunately, we finally were able to shoot them in characters. So that's about it for now. If you want to help Space Command in any way, shape, or form, please do. Spacesuit makers would be cool, prop makers, costume designers, all sorts of stuff. I mean, this is a big universe we've got going here, and we always welcome people's contributions, but particularly money, because money is what pays to keep the team going. and so I appreciate every little bit of help. So we'll talk again really soon. But I just thought it was incredible that we're on the nominating process for an Emmy. So that's really incredible. So that's it for now. We'll talk soon. Thanks for everything. Bye, guys.